For some time now, the youth of today are chasing over substances that can boost their sexual ecstasy. Come to think about it, are there natural means of boosting one's sex life without any side effects? In today's episode, our guests will educate us on foods that boost one's sex life. Welcome to Health Link TV show. This show is proudly sponsored by Frito Vegetable Oil, Indomie Instant Noodles, Cerelac, Pepsodent, Close Up, and Ocean Sardines. Let's go for a breather. When we come back, we'll have a look at our story for today.
Dear Health Link, I'm a young guy in my late 20s. I am a healthy person and I take my health very seriously. I also watch what I eat and when I eat. I am very particular about the kind of food I consume, in so much that the food I consume are limited. I met this wonderful lady, beautiful and attractive, who I intend to settle down with. She agreed and we started dating. It was going on well. After all, we loved each other so much. Initially, we agreed on no sex before marriage, but we could not control ourselves, so we decided to initiate our sexual life. So far, it has been a complete disaster. The first experience was so bad, I experienced premature ejaculation. It was either I ejaculated before penetrating or immediately after penetrating. Sometimes, I would not get an erection at all, or I lost it almost immediately after I started. I began to self-reflect. I wasn't stressed or anxious. I checked my diet. So what was the problem? It dawned on me. I really enjoy sweet and fizzy drinks. It seems I do not have control over them. Maybe sometimes the food we eat affects our health or sex life. I want to know if I am right. Does food really affect one's sex life? Could the food I eat be the cause of my problems? If it does, how can I change my eating habits? And which food do you recommend? Will changing my eating habits even improve my sex life? Which foods can help improve my sex life?
Welcome back. So today I have with me Susanna and Julius from the Department of Dietetics and Food Therapeutics at University of Ghana Medical Center. Julius and Susanna, you are welcome to Health Link TV show.
Thank you very much.
All right. So Julius, what does it mean to have a healthy sexual life? Is it about the number of hours you're able to, have sex with your partner? Or it's about like the strength you put in during sexual intercourse?
I think having a healthy sexual life transcends from putting in the thoughts, thinking about the sex, all the way to the action itself. So it's like a whole package, so to say. Yeah. So
Susan, to me, a boost one's libido or sexual life. All right, before that, do you think, to me boost one's libido or sexual life?
Of course.
Ujidisa?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. Right. To me boost your libido or your sexual
and
health.
And bensa?
Eduane de doso. Once eduane bia no, colors na ahuro bebre. Inti ebiane inuane nura ewom. Inti first of all yenhwe inuane bia yetedi pa moko. But for me beka say chili pepper.
Okay.
Moko no ade bi wom. Sa ade na ewom no eboama hormones bia yankasa from endorphins.
Okay.
And you feel good hormones.
Okay.
And my feel say I'm loved, I'm cared for.
Okay.
Inti udi moko a capsaicin no eboa emasa
breaking it down kakra na.
Capsaicin ne de twi kasa mo yeni bibia ye betimi aka. But once a particular hormone a trigger and a particular substance and idea e wo mokom. Inti eno push Emma endorphins no eye nedwuma nti woni wo dofo ehia obehu se obema ni oba innemu de akono bi e wase ebem nti sa endorphin no ebema sa akono no aba nti brofo me beka se boost or rev your libido.
What come okay? Some people call chumoko, like raw pepper and just eat everything, please. Is there any quantity attached to that? Because I believe so. Be your hair, because the moko that I do it. Moko yara no kakwe trade. Please kindly, what's the quantity of a portion?
Day in day out, Moko is a vegetable. Okay. Inti uchi moko aka weduane ho eno ane eka. Inti de bia no kakra bi enko weduane mo asa. Me enko ya moko enka se gidi bebrebe debi obeha ho. moko bebre wenum be hyehyew na wanu tinsuo nti nkakra no na odi bi eyeden ka wedua ne ho nti normal stew ka wo ye kwan mokokom nti dane da ebi nkom na wa ne wukuno anase wodofo no mu hia akono no enye soronko.
Julius, apart from pepper, what other foods can boost one's sexual life?
Okay, so let me get something straight, okay? Everybody understands how sex is. I mean, the physical mechanisms of sex. Two people are interested in sex, they get involved, the man gets erected, the woman gets wet, they go in and out, everybody's happy. But what a lot of people don't appreciate are the little things that help these processes to go on. And when it comes to our profession, we are dietitians and we talk about food. So bioactive substances like called nutrients that we get from our foods help sometimes in this process. So you have like the zinc, you have like the folate or the folic acid, you have like the magnesium, and all these things help.
Is it in food or supplements?
Yeah, they all come in the foods that we have. It is if you cannot get it from your foods, that is when you go in for the supplementation.
You mentioned supplements. Susan mentioned pepper. Okay. So what other foods again?
So there are the oats.
Okay. Normal oats.
Normal oats.
Hey. Okay. And what again?
So there are the normal oats. There's the banana. And you already know the shape of the banana. So it already gives you a picture of what it will do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Of course. Then there's the watermelon.
Okay.
Watermelon too is very helpful when it comes to sex. Then there's protein sources, or proteins also contain like certain amino acids that helps to boost the erection and also helps men to maintain their stamina. And you know, for men this is really important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Susan, if you don't take it, someone will go and buy fruits, like obeji fruits every day. Is there any proportion? I'm more concerned about that because, me say, you've mentioned chili pepper, you've mentioned fruits, or fruits, and the person will be eating fruits every day. So what's the proportion?
Oh, eduaba fruit. Fruit we are preaching it. For instance, you can say apple. You can say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But there is more to it. An apple a day makes the bedroom life much more interesting.
Okay.
One say, opa my dear no. Machine mu ye dia, o de oil egum, senior bear at the farm no. A bit me akọ smoothly. Friction behind yeding embim. Inti aye apple, o de ketewa ba kwa, enye kese ketewa bi. Ebeboa senior bear, obani obema ehia. Friction beer and dim. A bay smooth, a bema of that lubrication we hear. Senior bear penetration will be at its peak.
Oh, wow. I don't even know what to say again.
But
okay.
Avocado. Avocado, one say is a good source of good fat.
Okay.
Aside that potassium kakra e wom. And na ufa kukra na eda heseya. Ubeche mu into 4 parts. Into a quarter no. Which I want to for na baako na we anopa obetimi edi ewia obetimi edi another baako every 4 na wa chiche no enwumre so obetimi edi nti one whole one is here ye chemu into 4 ye bedi be 3 parts.
Okay.
And now one good thing e kan ho no sonso na say ya ye pa ya yi good fat na wo ho no potassium na wo ho no any vitamins bi e hye ho no eno nso eboa senior be ya ya vaginal walls emu eyedin kama eti se epon ene safoa.
Yes.
Ye de safoa no be she ma say we say fixing bi eba ansa na yetumi ebie nti wa wo paya no ebeboa amasa connection no abakama. Nti se nia epon no beso safoa no sa na wa vagina nso ebeso obema no ne penis no na emu ayede. Na echo.
That's with the help of the pear.
Pear, exactly.
Okay.
A quarter no will do the magic.
A quarter morning, afternoon,
evening.
Apple 1.
Small or just something little will do the
Great.
magic.
You mentioned both male and female.
Yes.
I want to take you back to the story for the day. In between a man and a woman, who needs foods that can boost his or her libido?
For the libido ne die, we nipa mienu nti oba eni obema. nkwanmu no fi papa no ho eba e wa say nya baby eden ekọ enti nipa ba ko de bi omomienu omadwen ehia se ne be ya edew no ebetumi aba ansa na niamu di ba ko di a edwuma no ebeda ba ko so but ye mienu ye kabom ne ya ye be ne fefe.
So in terms of the food no or say oba no edidi ye be man nso didi ye in order to get the kind of sexual satisfaction you want.
Exactly. Intini mienu no. Two to tango.
Great. Julius, back to our story.
Okay.
Do you think sugar can affect one's sexual life? Because the guy mentioned he likes sweets a lot.
Yes, sugar can. You know, what sugar does is that too much intake of sugar can actually affect how the structure of the blood vessels. And you know, what causes erection? Erection is movement of blood into these blood vessels.
Okay.
And research has actually shown that high intake of like highly refined carbohydrates, including the sugars, can actually increase estrogen level in men, causing obesity, causing diabetes, and other metabolic syndromes. And all these have complications, and these complications can include erectile dysfunction. So yes, sugar can actually cause.
Is it only direct sugar or ice cream?
Refined carbohydrates,
That's
including
the
sugar,
refined carbohydrates.
yes, including sugar, ice cream, the sweet stuff.
Okay.
So we
Toffees.
we rather appreciate when people go for like the whole carbohydrates, like the ones that have a lot of fiber and are not refined. They are better options to the highly refined carbohydrates. Yeah.
So how much is too much?
How much is too much is subjective and depends on the individual.
Okay.
So there are so many factors, including the age of the person. So usually what we do is that we assess you, we look at your BMI, that's comparing like your height, comparing your height to your weight. We also look at your family history, and all this will determine how much is your too much. So it will be, you know, kind of erroneous to say on like on TV or national platform that 5 grams is too much or 10 grams is too much. So usually it's individualistic.
So Julius, I want to know whether foods can improve impotence or can cure impotence. But before that, viewers, you are watching HealthLink TV show. This show is proudly sponsored by Phyto Vegetable Oil, Indomie Instant Noodles, Cerelac, Pepsodent, Close Up, and Ocean Sardines. Let's go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion. Welcome back. Before we went on break, we were discussing foods that can boost one's sexual life. And our guest mentioned pepper, apple, pear, and other foodstuffs. So let's move to whether foods can cure impotence.
Okay. I think this answer requires a very thorough assessment.
Okay.
Because first of all, you need to know what is causing the impotence. If it has to do with maybe probably, if it's more like medical, maybe there's a problem with the blood vessels or it's having person is having an underlying conditions, then it's advisable that these conditions are managed. If it's psychological, it's advisable that these issues are managed. But when it comes to its entirety, when you are deficient in certain nutrients like zinc, and you know, this particular thing requires that I sit up.
Okay.
That is to say that one of the things that we use to determine whether you are a man or not is the morning alarm.
Okay.
For every man, when you wake up early in the morning, you have an alarm.
Okay.
And that alarm is the erection that you get at dawn.
Okay.
And this erection is caused by nitric oxide. So if you are deficient in nitric oxide, then you would have an issue. So if this is your deficiency, then maybe improving intake of foods like tiger nuts, that's why they tell you charge your battery. So tiger nut actually contains zinc, and zinc helps in the production of this nitric oxide.
Okay.
Foods like watermelon also contains like certain amino acids that help in the metabolism of this nitric oxide. So if you have this, if you have issues with this and you are taking these foods, then you'll be fine. But if it's other conditions, then maybe you'd have to seek the appropriate help.
All right.
Yeah.
Susan, what do we have over there? I've seen a powdered substance over there.
Oh, yes. This is also called a powerhouse. If you look at it critically, that is cocoa powder.
Normal cocoa powder.
Yeah,
Is it a bitter
normal
one?
cocoa powder. It's a raw cocoa powder. I don't
okay.
want to call it bitter
Okay.
because it has its own advantages. But blackmailing is as bitter.
Wouldn't even take it at all.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can call it a powerhouse.
Okay.
So it's a raw cocoa powder. Okay.
All
and
right.
it's actually having some flavonoids in there that helps to boost up your sex life. It helps for you to enjoy sex. It causes an excitement
Okay.
when it's taken in. And one thing you can do is that you add on a little of exercise.
Okay.
And a little of exercise will power you up when you use it.
What I wanted to add to what Susan had already said is the fact that the hormones that dictate this process are the testosterone in men and then the estrogen in women. Now, the phytoestrogens imitate estrogen. So when you give it to men, then they tend to become more feminine and then they don't post their erection.
Okay.
You get
Then,
it?
please, Susan, mention chi, like, of the various foods na ebwa mano. And I want you to also mention foods that boost a man's libido. And to Susan, you take that of the females and you take that of the males.
Okay. Into the kind man there's some about baby. Apple ewo ho.
Okay.
Soya bean ewo ho.
Okay.
One good thing about soya bean for a man say one who say obey money obey share. It was say there should be that liquid to prevent dryness.
Okay.
Into if there is dryness, the penetration is not effective. We better a yaw and now we enjoy one who say. Into yeah soya bean. Emma estrogen no eboa with lubrication.
Okay.
Into for obana dear, you will enjoy yourself because you will not dry up quickly. And now a man so my menopausal ages for no any omonsun so in ruby emma quick drying during intercourse. Usoya being a dear ebeboa amawako winning.
All right. I heard something. I don't know whether it's true or not. I heard say pineapple gives this nice smell in the vagina. Like the fluid that comes out is very fruity. Like it has a fruity smell. Is that true?
Oh, wa unam na obi twitwa pineapple. Oti ade na wo feel.
Yeah, that one I know.
Of course. And it adds that sweetness to you. I think Julius should throw more light on that. The men should know
No,
better.
this is the latest issue.
Okay.
So
Julius,
yes, it actually helps.
No.
I don't want to say that the aroma, no, but it's one of the foods that will boost.
Yes, I heard that
Yes.
for the females, if you take in fruit, like the same smell will be down there
Come
during
on.
sexual intercourse. I don't know how to. That's why I'm asking you.
You know
that.
that the vagina is always doing its own cleaning process.
Exactly.
Into that whole mindset is out there, but it doesn't really play that much role. The smell, like I want to say the odor down there is a different one, or the let's say aroma.
No,
You can't condemn it. You know, the whole funny thing is that it's about good hygiene.
Okay.
Good hygiene will do the magic.
Julius,
Yes.
kindly mention some of the fruits.
Okay, so there's the charge your battery, the tiger nuts.
Charge your. Okay.
Yes.
Come again. The name again.
The
Charge
tiger
your
nuts.
battery.
No, charge your battery.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So that helps. Like actually the nuts, so there's the tiger nut, there's the walnuts,
Okay.
and other nuts, the almonds, they help because they provide like a lot of zinc. And because men's life matter, one thing men should know is that if you have frequent sexual intercourse, know that you can easily be zinc deficient. So if you have like frequent sexual intercourse, it's good that you take in lots of foods that have zinc because every ejaculation comes with about 15 milligram of zinc. So apart from the nuts, there are the shellfishes, like the oysters. They are like high in zinc and they really help. Please stay away from too much soya bean or too much soy, or you become a woman. You become just another woman in the bedroom.
Oh no, I think for the men as well, the oat also does a magic. And then you can also look at green leafy vegetables for men because there's some folate there. And high folate helps to prevent erectile dysfunction or reduces the risk.
So those people who are trying to conceive, are there foods that they need to take that will boost the quality of the semen or the quality of the eggs?
Yeah, I think this is a very, very important question.
Okay.
Because a lot of people go into pregnancy without thinking about what comes out of it. As in, before a woman can conceive, you need the sperm from the man and then the eggs from the woman. And your nutritional status or the quality of food you eat actually affects this. Because if you're a woman and then you are deficient in folate, then you are going to give birth to children who maybe probably have certain congenital disorders like the cleft palate, the spina bifida, and all this. And every mother wants a healthy baby. So if you want a healthy baby, make sure that you are up there nutritionally. Your male partner or your husband is also up there nutritionally. So yeah, it is very, very important.
Can all these foods cure infertility?
Well, infertility is broad. I won't say, oh, this food will cure infertility, but I would just say that it can help you to have a fertile or healthy sexual life. Don't base your mind on it that's changing way dear and no last show there be. And for fertility to be at its peaks, I think you should check your weight.
My questions to both of you. The first one is, I've been seeing people selling out honey syrup. I don't know whether honey causes the tightness that they are talking about or something. So, as a specialist in foods, what do you have to say about it?
Honey syrup. Well, all I can say is that honey gives you some form of sweetness in your meals. But stop exchanging it for a good sexual life or a good sexual drive. Honey has a whole part to play in terms of being a refined form of, will I say carbohydrates? Yes. So too much of it will cause more harm than good, as we said earlier. Kakura in your food is fine. But me branding honey alone as the whole magic tool is a no-no for me.
All right, Julius, is it good for a man to take aphrodisiac?
You know, they are natural aphrodisiacs.
Okay.
And these come with less side effects. So I think it is safe to go for this one. Something like oyster. Oyster is termed as a natural aphrodisiac, and people actually take it for that purpose. But going in for the chemically refined aphrodisiacs, because of the health implications, I think it is not safe from my perspective as a professional. But I think maybe the pharmacists or the medical doctors are the best people to advise on some of these things. But as a dietitian, I think the best way is that just up your foods, like eat a balanced meal or eat like the 4-star diet, and then you'll be fine.
Thank you so much for joining me on HealthLink TV show. I think I need to go and get some fruit and start taking.
Very, very important.
Okay, viewers, thank you so much for watching HealthLink TV show. Join me same time next week for another amazing episode. HealthLink, everything on health.